Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host Protomario, and today's news story is one that's been circulating quite a bit on the internet. Apparently, Cubic Ninja opens up the 3DS to Homebrew with all versions in all regions. So that means no matter what type of DS you have, no matter what the region, you can use this tactic to install Homebrew on your 3DS. Download free games and play them on your 3DS. So, Cubic Ninja is basically a 3DS game. It's a very cheap and easily found game, but nowadays people are scooping them up and trying to sell them for a lot of money. It's the typical thing, supply versus demand. So if you happen to have a copy of Cubic Ninja, you might be able to sell it for a little bit more than what you bought it for. But I've seen them in pretty cheap stores myself, so it wouldn't exactly be difficult to acquire one of these if your local area is not aware of this and you happen to know where to purchase this game at. So there's an exploit with this game that allows people to install Homebrew on their 3DS. Now, what I'm going to be discussing about this is pretty simplistic, and the advantages and disadvantages. So the advantages, of course, is that you no longer have to pay for games. You can get free games off the internet and play them on your 3DS. And while I'm not going to sit here and act like modding game consoles like a PSP or a Wii or things like that won't have a downside to them, they definitely have some really big upsides. For example, older consoles that rarely will be touched by people anymore could be modded out to contain a large number of games and a library, making their life extend greatly. A good example of this is a PSP. Not too many people play their PSPs anymore unless they have them hacked, and a lot of people do have them hacked to allow the playing of NES, SNES, Game Boy, Sega games on it. It's like you have your own personal library with that thing. So it's not exactly a downside to install something like Homebrew on that. But where the upside is, there's always a downside. And the downside is that when you have a console that's still getting patches and updates, when they discover that people have been using this, they will patch and update the game, they will patch and update the system, and you will be locked out. Yes, I did say that right. You'll be locked out of your system, because in the terms of service and use, if you do choose to use your Nintendo 3DS, go online, use the features, and accept the terms of the update, you will be locked out of your system if they find you are operating unlicensed Nintendo software or R4 cards and things like that on there. And they say it right there. You should really read your terms of service, use, and agreement before you install Homebrew and attempt to update. For anyone who's attempting to install Homebrew, you're probably going to be better off buying an extra 3DS, putting the Homebrew on it, and just using that one as a secondary and never connecting it online, because you'll basically have a paperweight, and that's just how it's going to go. So ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to give you guys that information. You can look up how to do this. I am not going to encourage it. I'm not going to de-encourage it. I'm just going to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want your games to continuously be developed, if you want them to constantly come out with awesome updates and new content, someone's going to have to get paid. So if everyone pirates their games, companies will eventually go out of business. And I'm not saying that, oh man, that one time you downloaded that game and you didn't buy it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for the people who just constantly do it, never buy a game, never support the developer, and they always play every developer's game. And it's just like, okay, that's fine. I understand you may be the poorest of the poor. But at some point in time, if everyone and their mom did this, then there would be no more games. So bear that in mind when you are pirating software. But as far as the previous games go, or games that just aren't released on the 3DS, I don't see an issue with playing Mother 3 on the 3DS, or Earthbound on the 3DS, or Mother 1. Those games weren't released on the 3DS, and you would have to purchase a Wii U to play them. Well, at least one of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, leave your comments in the section below. Let me know how you guys feel about this. Do you feel that it's okay to download pirated software and play it on your 3DS? Or do you feel like it's just piracy and it's wrong altogether? Thanks for watching, and happy gaming. Thanks for watching my video, and please consider joining the Maverick Rebellion today. Together, my subscribers are more than just people. We are Mavericks who desire to change the gaming stereotypes and bring a better sense of community to YouTube. Individually, we can accomplish so much, but united, we can change how the world views gaming. Please consider joining our cause and subscribe today, and you'll be part of something bigger. You'll be part of an army and part of a rebellion against injustice. Mavericks unite. I am Protomario, and I approve this message.